Greetings gardening fans, it's Sunday, March 24th, it's 11:30 in the morning, it's about minus 11. My parents said it was minus 25 this morning at their house, but that doesn't befriend me. I've decided to fire up my mobile greenhouse anyway. So it was 1 week ago today I seeded my onions with 3-year-old onion seed. Let's see how we made out. It is cold outside, so I'll have to be brief. So here's my bunching onions. I seeded about 2 or 3 per cell. Here's my red Zeppelin. I'm looking at probably, I'd say less than half of a germination. Here we have the full tray of Ricochet. I don't know if you can see that. We had virtually no germination. There was one, and that's it. And here's the full flat of red Zeppelin. And you can see again less than 50% germination. So anyways, here's hoping I didn't just kill them all trying to show everybody what happened. I guess the lesson to be learned here is that if you're going to use 3-year-old seeds, you better seed lots of them. What I've decided to do is I don't have any of this year's Ricochet, but I do have red Zeppelin, so I'm going to seed some of my current red Zeppelin seed to make up for the shortfall. So the germination I had on my bunching onions was pretty good, and I noticed, I don't know if you watched Garden Vlog 3, I showed how the bunching onion seeds looked like steel blue, and now here's a comparison. You can see on the left is the old red Zeppelin seed. There's the old seed, and here's this year's seed, and it's like a turquoise color. I'm guessing that's some kind of a fungal coating maybe they put on it, or maybe some kind of a coloring so they can identify the type of seed. I don't know. Anyway, I just find it interesting that the old seeds have lost that coloring. They used to have that coloring. I'll tell you one thing, the coloring on the new seeds sure made them easier to seed. You could clearly see where you have seeded, and so you don't miss seeding any of the cells. What I've done this time is I put 1 seed per cell, except on the far right row I put 2 seeds in each one of those, so I should get at least my 48 on this flat. So I didn't have any new seed for Ricochet, so I decided to seed out the rest of the old seed, and hopefully something will germinate for me. I put several seeds per cell this time. We'll see what happens. So anyways, next weekend I'll probably end up dumping all the cells that didn't germinate, all the onion cells, into the box there, and it'll be reused for something else. But anyway, that's enough about onions. Now what I want to do today is I'm going to be seeding 4 types of cabbage. I'm going to be seeding Golden Cross cabbage. I got those from T&T Seeds in Winnipeg. This type of cabbage will actually mature before the cabbage moths even are abundant, so if you don't have netting and you don't want to run around with a butterfly net or whatever, this cabbage, like I said, it will beat the cabbage moths. You'll have some cabbage before they're prevalent. Another cabbage I've grown, this is a purple cabbage, Rondale Red, 75 days. This is a nice large cabbage, and it's really nice for making coleslaw. I grew this cabbage last year as well. This is Hercules. It's got large flat heads, and this is suitable for making cabbage rolls. That's also 75 days. I got a new type of cabbage this year. This is called Princeton. This is a long 110-day cabbage. I bought this cabbage to store possibly for winter, and also maybe to do a late batch of sauerkraut. So we'll see how that works for me. So 4 types of cabbages I'm going to seed. Okay, so I seeded 4 each of the cabbages. Golden Cross is only 40 days. The heads are small, but they are an early cabbage. And I did 4 of the Hercules. Oh, incidentally, the Golden Cross, this is the 3rd year. The seed is 3 years old, so I seeded 2 seeds in each of the 4 cells. Hercules, it's 2-year-old seed. I seeded 2 seeds per cell, and I seeded 4 cells. So there was 2 empty cells in each of the Hercules and the Golden Cross. I seeded the purple cabbage, the Rondale Red, across the 4. I didn't label it because it's purple and I can tell all the other cabbages are green cabbages, so the purple will stand out. The third type of cabbage I seeded is Princeton. That's the 110-day storage cabbage. I plan on keeping it in my cold room perhaps if it'll keep, and maybe I'll make some winter sauerkraut out of that stuff. I also seeded, there's 2 broccoli there and 6 there. The broccoli seed is a new seed, so I only put 1 seed per cell and there's 8 cells. I don't really want that much broccoli. And here's what I seeded. This is Emerald Crown from Stokes. So 8 of those, and I've got some 3-year-old Brussels sprout seeds, so I seeded 6 of those, and I put 2 seeds in each cell, except for one I put 3 seeds. So we'll see how 3-year-old Brussels sprouts germinates. And these Brussels sprouts are an early variety, 82 days, and that's from T&T Seeds as well. They specialize in stuff for the northern climes where I live. Stick it in the greenhouse and water it, and we'll see what happens. So anyways, as you can probably tell, I save seeds from year to year. I keep them in a shoebox, and I find that I like to group things together. I'll keep all my lettuces in one package. It makes stuff easier to find. I'll keep all my onions together in one package. And I just keep this box in the front closet in my house, so I don't worry about keeping it cold or anything like that. I keep the beans in one bag, and well, you get the gist of it. If you do decide to build a mobile greenhouse and you're watering and you're seeding, when you water things from the bottom, of course, you want the thing to be level so that you have water even distribution in your flats. It's currently -4. I moved my celery and peppers and tomatoes in here, and yes, you can bet I moved it and I did it quickly, so hopefully they're not crippled up. My wife is going to move her stuff in probably later on. Here's a view of my tomatoes. They're pretty leggy. I must admit I've been really out of my element trying to grow this stuff in the house. I'm glad that it's in the greenhouse now. What I'll do is, once I get rid of all the onions that didn't germinate, I'll eliminate those cells with just dirt, and then I'll have room. My side of the greenhouse is full right now. So once I eliminate those onions, then I'll transplant the tomatoes and bury them a little deeper, and hopefully everything will be back to normal. And hopefully the fan will help toughen things up. It's now 2:30 in the afternoon, and you can hear the water falling off the icicles finally. Pretty sad. Anyways, here's a little shot of the unit. It's dark outside, it's below freezing outside, it's above freezing in the garage. In the early stages, I like to cover it up with a blanket when it's cold in the garage. It kind of helps keep the heat in so the heater isn't gobbling up the power. I don't know if I mentioned this in my mobile greenhouse tour, but when I first fire this thing up, typically I only fire up half of it, and you can see the cardboard that I've inserted there. This helps to keep the heater from cutting in and out. It runs way less. So between that and the blankets, it really is a little bit cost effective. I don't use grow lights. I guess my main expense in this endeavor is the heater. It is insulated below like I showed in my tour. However, I guess the garage being cold, I don't know if the cold from below is going to affect the germination. So I do have one heat pad, and I put it underneath the purple onions. I guess those are the money makers. The purple onion is, I guess, more important to me than some of the other things. And I think the brassicas, the cabbages, will probably germinate better if it's cooler. Not necessarily better. The cabbages will be more able to germinate than the other things, I guess, if the bottom is cold. Because I'm germinating things, I want to keep it a little bit warmer in here. Normally I would have the heater shut off at about 15 degrees, but since I've planted a bunch of stuff today, I want to keep it a little bit warmer at night, particularly since there's no heat from below. So the heater should cut off hopefully right now. 24 degrees Celsius on the right. Yeah, so that's warm enough, I think. I'm not sure when it cuts on. Anyway, so that's how I'm doing it right now. Thanks for watching, and goodbye everybody.